Hello, benvenuti ragazzi a un nuovo episodio di Italiani in Australia. Io sono Silvia e questo finalmente è un altro nuovo episodio standard e per la prima volta in lungo tempo non sono in compagnia di Marco. Questa sera ho un ospite veramente speciale, è una ragazza che io ho conosciuto in palestra e si chiama Sara, però prima di iniziare tutto il discorso bisogna un attimo iniziare a parlare in inglese perché ovviamente lei non è italiana, quindi let's introduce Sara tonight. Hello, welcome to the podcast.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Buongiorno.
No, buongiorno.
Buonanotte.
I'd say buonasera because
Okay.
it's that part of the night where it's too early to say buonanotte,
Okay.
but it's too late obviously to say buongiorno. So,
I'll take your lead on that.
so are you ready tonight to talk about what we are going to talk about?
I'm always ready.
I know, and I know also that you would take 4 hours about this because for you are very close to this topic, and we spoke about it so many times, and I feel like you are the best person for it. You are the best person that can explain to us what actually that means, and if actually can help all our people listening, because I'm probably one of the persons that would probably need some help. When it comes to this
Maybe
specific,
tiny bit.
maybe a tiny bit. So without further ado, which is a new sentence that I've learned
well done,
recently,
bravo.
so we're trying to progress. Tonight we're going to talk about confidence. We're going to talk about confidence and energy, but before we're going to deep dive into this topic, I would love Sarah to just explain a little bit about herself and what she thinks about it. Like, this is not a job interview, because when they say, just
okay,
talk
I
a
can
bit
relax
about
then.
yourself, you'll be like, oh yeah, I started, my first job was,
So in 1987,
please go ahead.
I guess for everyone at home, my name is Sarah. I'm a 39-year-old woman, and I probably wasn't always this confident. I know that we've known each other for a bit now, and I know for you've seen me as a very confident woman, but for me, I think, I was quite shy. I was pretty introverted in my infant years, and I guess I grew into my confidence to a certain point. That helped at school. I had a teacher at school that really saw me and believed in me. And I was probably about 8 years old, and I was offered my first modelling contract. So I don't know if you know this at all, but it's a company called Best and Less, which is basically a clothing.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay,
Yeah, of course.
So Best and Less was doing a modelling search, and a teacher of mine asked me to be in the catwalk. So back then you do it and you get a little $20 gift voucher, essentially. But
For modeling.
yeah. So that was my foray into, confidence and presentation and how you present yourself to the world. And from there, my confidence grew. And I can continue that modelling throughout my adult life, so much so as recently. So I ended up doing that in the curve world. So I was a plus size model. I did swimwear, I did bridal, I did photo shoots, catwalks, that kind of thing. And what I learned more than anything else is that beauty is more than skin deep. And more importantly, that confidence is the most beautiful attribute that someone can have. So that's really where I grew my confidence.
Yeah, would you say that confidence is something that you were born with it, or it's something that you would rather, let's use like a very bad word, quotation mark, train, like like any muscle, because I feel like I can be more confident, but at some point I reached out a level and I'm like, nah, I just don't feel myself.
Okay.
And it sort of stops me. And what I admire about you is like that you just go like, you don't care, you just don't give a shit, you just
Yeah, I've got the fucking mentality, don't I?
that reflects the perception that people would have about you. And sometimes I see people that maybe they could appear more confident, or they can have like a better spotlight, but they would put in the last row just because they are not confident enough, and therefore the perception of other people, it's perceived in a different way, let's put it like that.
I understand. Confidence is, to answer your first question, I guess, some people are innately born with confidence. They come out of the womb confident. You know, they've got the extroverted personality, and people perceive that naturally as, oh, they must be confident.
Do you think it's part due also to the way that these people were raised when they were child in their family nest?
Yeah. You think about it, like as a child, you're in your developmental years, right? And so your environment shapes who you become as a person. And then there's the argument around nature versus nurture. I think that people are naturally confident, but I think your environment will help propel you as to whether you become a more confident person once you get out into the world, or whether you become a less confident person, if you will. If you've got, say, for example, like going back to my earlier wording, you know, if you've got people that believe in you, like a teacher, a parent, someone, an adult that believes in you and really sort of encourages you to do better and really wills you to see the talent that's within, you naturally will try new things, you know, because you believe that you can do it. If you've got people around you that are saying to you, you know, Sil, no, you're silly, you can't do that, etc., then you're not going to have the confidence to go and, you know, learn and grow and be.
Yeah, I sort of resonate with that, because if I go back to when I was a child, obviously nothing against my parents, because I had the best childhood and everything, but when you sort of think back and you just reflect on the way that you've been raised, I was the child that always had to ask permission for everything. That everything that I wanted was not like for me, or it was hard to achieve, or I had to stay in my lane. Therefore, they always tried to keep me in the safe lane. Let's put it like that. So, and if I think that, because being confident is also like going out of your comfort zone and actually try and do things that would unsettle that balance and that safety net.
Yeah.
And that's probably why that's where I would fail. That's where I fail. Because in doing things that I don't feel safe, I would reach that point and I'll be like.
So it's safety. So that's a really interesting, it's really interesting hearing you talk about it in that way. Because if you think about confidence, it's it's a certainty within oneself that you're competent in something.
Yeah, see that. If we are talking, for example, confidence about work, I can tell you that I'm the fucking best. And I'm probably not, because there are 1 trillion people that are probably better than me.
Sure.
But it doesn't matter. Because,
but you're confident in your competence.
Because I know that I'm good at what I'm doing. Therefore, I'm not doubting myself. And even though there are things that maybe I'm not able to do, doesn't matter. I will learn that. I would face it as a challenge and I would just jump into it.
Yeah, you'll learn. And that's how your confidence grew, because I'm sure when you started your career many, many moons ago, you weren't as confident as you are now.
No, probably not. But when it comes to personal relationship, that's where I would love to be the focus, obviously, of this session, because we're not here to discuss about being confident at work. Yes. Maybe it can be another topic.
That's a whole nother subject.
Yeah, but not with a bottle of wine and a nice dinner in our belly, right? So if we are talking about confidence in relationship, which could be any sort of relationship, like romantic relationship, friendship, even work relationship, I just found it hard, because those are the times in which I would question myself. And I'm always trying to see if there is a better way to be more confident, or I'm reading a lot of books to see if there is a framework that I can apply for in a way that I can be more confident and see if there are any underlying patterns that define my confidence level and maybe somehow a way to make it better. So based on this, do you think that there is actually a framework or some steps, like little steps that people can utilize to sort of feel more confident or grow this confidence that sits within them?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think a lot of people have a misconception as to what confidence is. So a lot of people think confidence is, for example, a smaller body or nice clothes or a new haircut, and all those things come into play, because when we look good, we feel good, right? And that goes into the line of thought of feelings. So why are we not as confident in relationships? It's because we feel a certain way. We might fear rejection, for example. So if, for example, we look at confidence, it is literally the opposite of rejection. It's literally.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So if you're talking about relationships, for example, you're saying, how can I be more confident in relationships? It's about accepting rejection. the more you, let's say for example, a single person. We're both single. We can say that to the camera. Can we say that to the audience? Hi, we're single.
We've got also the audience behind the cameras. They're both single as well anyway. Just say.
We're not putting our personal details on this. Don't contact us.
You can find us on Instagram anyway.
This is literally for the context of what we're talking about. But if we're looking at our singledom, if you will, you go out into the world and to become unsingle, if that's what you want to do, you need to date, right? So how do you become confident in the dating world?
Yeah, but it's like every sort of thing that you need to get better at it. You gotta do it more and more and more.
Correct.
In a way, in a way to sort of feel lose that inhibition. What's the word?
Yeah, it is. It's an inhibition. It's literally confidence is showing courage and vulnerability, and it is literally growing the muscle of rejection.
Yes, but rejection would tap into that part of your brain where you sort of question yourself, and you're going to question your self-worth. Because if I've been rejected, it can be not a reflection of me, but it can be for whatever reason. But I would put it on myself and be like, okay, I got rejected because I'm not pretty enough. I don't have a good enough job. I'm not wearing good enough clothes. I look old. I don't know, for whatever reason. And then it's going to be on me, and then would kill even more my confidence.
Yes. And that's to do with inner confidence. So we're talking about confidence, right? And we were just talking about the fact that, you know, when you're wearing nice clothes and whatnot, you feel good. That's confidence. That's one element of confidence. There's inner confidence. So for example, and everyone has these thoughts. Like honestly, Sil, I can tell you for sure I've had those thoughts in my life where I'm like, I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm too that, but very, very quickly, because of the inner confidence that I have in myself, I know, hang on a minute, I pull it back towards who am I at my core? Who am I being? What is my worth? What do I bring to the table? And I don't mean the monetary things. You know, a lot of people say, well, what do you bring to the table? And we start thinking about, well, I've got a good job, I've got money, I've got this, I've got that. No, who are you at your core? And what value do you bring as a person? So if you can tie everything back to who am I as a person and what is my value, that's actually where your confidence is. So confidence isn't the loudest person in the room. It's actually the quiet inner confidence.
I know, but I feel like it's sort of always intertwined to whatever is the outside part of the confidence. Because if we are talking about relationship, but this is something that we are going to talk about it in another session. So I don't want to go too deep into it. Yeah. But at the same time, it's confidence sits within your values, the person that you are, what defines yourself, because at the end of the day, that's why you wake up every day in doing what you're doing. That's what gives you confidence and this place in the world, let's put it like this. But at the same time, you as an individual, you are constantly judged and perceived every single day on how you look on the outside. Therefore, if your confidence level of the outside is not at top levels, you are perceived in a different way.
You're right.
And people wouldn't even get to the point that they would get to know your inside confidence. And you would be eliminated even before.
You're right. People will visually see you before they get to know you. You're right. And I think that's true. That's been true to time, you know, throughout time. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So in terms of confidence, I know for me, I am very aware of how I present myself to the world. You know, whenever I walk into a room, I'm always, you know, I'm presented right, my posture's right, I've got a quiet confidence to me, I don't rush into a room. All these things, it's the eye contact, all these little things signal to another human confidence. It's very different, you know, we could be sitting here, someone can walk into a room right now and they're rushing in and they're flustering and they're fiddling with themselves and whatnot. And immediately you're like, oh, they're a little bit, you know, off kilter.
And what would you perceive the famous energy that they would give you that it's different?
Well,
what makes you think like, what's that?
Expand on
I see if the confidence book says something, but I don't know. It says
chapter 4.
Choose how you spend your time.
Okay. In relation to confidence?
No, I mean, in this case, if someone you said enters in a room and they're rushing, they they do whatever they need to do, and you're like,
Yeah.
What is that thing that makes you think that these people don't have the actual confidence? Because they might have, but maybe they were late.
But they're not they may, but they're not presenting it to the world that way. So generally, someone who's flustered, they come in, they're talking really, really fast, and there's just this rushness to them, and that chaoticness to them. It doesn't give you an overall arching, hey, they're a confident person. If someone walks in quite sure of themselves, a really confident energy, so they come in quiet, gentle, strong presence. They don't have to say much, but immediately because the energy in the room shifts.
So you said a few times in the last few minutes, energy. What is it, energy, for you? Like, how would you define it?
I love that topic.
This is like one philosophical question.
Yeah, we need to ask a Greek god, I think.
Yeah.
Back in the 1800s. Maybe Socrates. Can we call Socrates? Where's my phone?
Do you have his phone number?
I'm sure if I ask for it, I'll get it. And that's confidence, right? If I saw Socrates in a nightclub,
he would offer you a drink, most likely.
I don't know what they were drinking back in Greek mythology.
What did they drink? Just a red wine. Dionysus. They had Dionysus.
Do you think so?
They had Dionysus. No, Dionysus was Roman or Greek god? Greek, yes, see, drinking.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Did they drink back then?
Of course they did. God, they were so bad. Better than Italians, hey.
Oh, is that true?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Now I'm just daydreaming about Socrates.
Have you watched the TV show Chaos?
No.
Chaos?
No.
It's with Jeff Goldblum. And
I love Jeff Goldblum.
That show is so good. They did one season, I think, and then they just cut it off because it was a bit too profano. How would you say profano in English? Blasphemy. It was a satiric version of Greek gods in a temporary society that they were doing all the wrong things.
Okay.
But it was so good, and about these people that was alive and had to go back to the dead's world to bring back to life someone else.
Oh, really?
It was so
I've got to watch it now. Is it still on or they've cancelled it?
No, season 1 should be on. But anyway, back to the Dionysus and the glass of wine and the energy levels.
Well, Jeff Goldblum, you think about energy, right?
Yes.
Jeff Goldblum. What a phenomenal human. But why is he hot? Because you look at him, he's not your traditional hot.
Hold on, he's hot because it's not because he's actually good. He's
good looking.
He's good looking. But yes, I was saying that he's very well presented. The way that he keeps his chin up, the way that he articulates, the way that he talks. And that's what you said. He's a
confident person.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. Every interview I've seen of him, he's present. And he's so assured of himself. His energy is safe as well. So energy and confidence are hand in hand. So confidence is an energy. Confidence isn't a doing thing. You can change things about you, right? You can, straighten your shoulders. You can walk with a certain tone and what have you. You can't fake your energy. Confident energy will win every single time.
How do you think energy would affect people in day-to-day life? I would say day-to-day operation, but I talk like an email at work. So
ChatGPT.
Day-to-day life.
In day-to-day operation. Energy affects absolutely everything we do. Absolutely everything we do. And I'm a firm believer in that. I'm not deep in the energetics world, but I've delved into it enough, I've read enough about it, and I've practiced enough on myself to really understand how energy can shift the room. So, you wake up in the morning and you feel a particular energy. And it's not the same every single day that you wake up. Why is that?
They said that the moon sort of affects the way that we feel the mood and everything, but also, and then it brings back to about another topic, which is gratitude. So I've read in many of my books that if the night before you focus on the things that went well throughout the day that you had, it would sort of set and reset for the day that is coming. So in the way that if I think, okay, maybe I had a shitty day, let's say, but I'm focusing just before to go to bed about how happy I am with my dog and whatever about the shoes that I bought. I don't know, anything that made me happy on that day, automatically it seems that the day after, the day would start with the tail of that type of energy. Whereas if I'm going to bed and I'm drained because I had a shitty day, maybe I had a fight with my family or whatever, or for whatever reason, I would bring that to the next day. And therefore you would wake up and you're like, far out, this is a shitty day already. And then everything goes off on that day.
Correct.
One after the other, you would have a series of events that one after the other, something's wrong.
Yeah, very much. You're right. What you focus on, you put out into the world. So, you know, in 24 hours, a lot happens in our worlds, right? Good things, bad things, and things that are sort of neutral, if you will. What you focus on at the end of the day, that's the signal that you're sending to your brain to focus on, right? So if you're focusing on all those good things, and you know, that's a common practice where people look at gratitude and they pick 3 things for that day and they go, okay, well, I'm really grateful for my dog. I know with you, buying pairs of shoes makes you very, very happy. So you can list that as 2 and 3.
Shoes are happiness. I don't know if people listening to me would understand that.
I understand. High heels make me very, very happy. So, you know, that's usually number 1 for me, to be fair.
We all have our own.
We all have our own, you know, gratitude items. But, you know, the thing is, energy it's a magnetic field. You're emitting energy. You and I sitting here right now, we're emitting energy, whether we like it or not. Right? So we choose what energetic field we want to be in at any one given time. And based on the vibrations that we're putting out into the world, because they are vibrations, you know, when someone says to you, yeah, good vibes, good times, good vibes, what they mean is good vibrations or higher vibrations.
Do you think that people that would get along, they're sort of on the same frequencies and they would resonate on the same level?
Yeah. Same frequencies are rare and they're amazing, especially when you're vibrating at a higher frequency. So you've got your neutral frequency, which is our sort of, you're not ridiculously happy, you're not ridiculously sad. And then you've got different depths of frequencies that go down. And that would be maybe you're disappointed by a work email. You might be a little bit sad about something that day. Then you've got stages of anger, depression, grief, so on and so forth. And then almost suicidal, if you will, which is your depth.
That's the classic spiral.
Correct, yeah. And then, of course, you've got the opposite. So when you've got your neutral and you go up, and then you've got things like, love. Peace is actually higher. It's a higher frequency than love.
Peace.
Yeah. Would you believe that?
I don't know. I feel like it's still a different form of love, but it's more of a universal, intangible thing. Whereas love, it's something that you would experience personally rather than... Actually, no, sorry, that's wrong. Peace, I feel like it's more of a state of mind. Whereas love, it's the way that you feel about something. Because sometimes I sit here and I'm like, I'm at peace.
Yeah.
In a way that I feel complete in the person that I am at that specific point in time. And I don't have any major problems. I don't have any major issues. Yeah, okay, maybe little fights, but whatever, it's not the thing. But I'm like, I'm at peace. And that state of mind, I feel like it's hard to define and it's hard to actually understand when you are in that state of mind. Whereas love, it always involves another person and then yourself. Actually, yourself and another person.
Yeah, it's always yourself. It's always yourself first, is what I should say.
Yeah.
So when you're operating at those frequencies and you go out into the world, you're a magnet. We're all magnets. The world has no choice but to send that back to you. So that's why energetics are so important, especially in terms of confidence. And I know we're going to talk about another topic in terms of dating another time.
Yeah.
But that's why your energy is so important. Do you ever find when you're in a higher frequency or a higher state of frequency, let's say you've done your gratitude that day and you've had a great gym session, you've had a great day at work, and you're just happy. You're just content, you're happy, you know you're at a higher frequency. You find that good things happen to you after that?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like it's like a sequence of good things, not necessarily like major events.
No.
That you're like, oh, I won the lottery.
No, it's not that. It's not that obvious.
Or I found a bracelet on the street. That is Hermes. Fuck you. No, that's not me. It's more like little things.
Yeah.
That that would keep going and just
Yeah.
make my day better.
Yeah.
Like that everything goes on plan, everything goes as expected.
Everything runs on time, and you're not,
yeah.
nothing has gone wrong as
Yeah.
such. And yeah, it's because of what you're putting out. It's literally magnifying that back to you, and that's why it's so important to maintain that high level.
One thing that I wanted you to explain before, while we were doing the briefing for this episode, you were talking about some stats, and I wanted you to just to tell our audience about these numbers because they were quite intriguing.
The statistics.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because we need our research grounded somewhere, right?
Or somewhere.
Yeah.
Not on the back of a napkin.
That would work also.
Have we got a napkin? We could do that.
No, I'll throw them all away.
We were talking about, the particular stats we were talking about, if I remember correctly, was about 93% of all communication is non-verbal.
So that would imply that it's a mix of obviously energy, confidence, what else?
Particularly energy, body language.
Oh, body language.
Those are
yes,
the two
of course.
things.
Yeah.
People will admit that the human brain is really, really receptive and it's exceptionally smart. We are smarter than we give ourselves recognition for, truly. It's like when you and I met for the first time, right?
How
I
funny.
won't tell that story.
No, you haven't, but you should because
Yeah.
Please explain.
Well, the way I usually say it, I don't know if this is for public consumption, but the way I usually say it is that I noticed this tall, leggy, hot blonde girl in the gym. And I noticed you there for quite some time, didn't I? For months and months on end.
Probably months, yeah.
You know what it's like at the gym. You've got a gym family that you don't even know your first name.
And you don't talk to anyone.
No, you don't talk to
I mean,
anyone.
no, you do, but I don't.
I talk to everyone. Yeah. But well, you're selectively social, where I'm overly social.
But I said that to my close members,
Yeah.
that I'm highly selective on the people that I talk to.
I feel honoured.
Huh?
I feel honoured to be in your energy orbit.
Like, I feel like we can put it on one hand, that's it.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
true.
1.5. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, back to the story.
Yeah, so I remember having met you and your energy at the time, I was like, not sure about this woman. you
are
not
not giving good advertisement, I'm telling you. Like, it's already not great. But I
had to use some equipment you were using. Or something like that.
it was the barbell section.
Yeah, that's right. We're at that section. I must have been pulling a weight. I'm sure I needed to pull a weight.
Yeah, you had to do something.
And I sort of had to like, they were right at your feet, and I was mindful that I was in your space, you know. Like, there's some people you can sort of sneak in and out, and there's other people you're really in their space.
You need to ask permission.
You do, right? It's respectful.
You need to be allowed to get into my space.
Yeah, exactly. And like, there's gym etiquette. So I remember saying hi to you and asking you if you're using that weight, and I think that one question led to a 45-minute
Yeah,
chat.
we chatted for a while.
Yeah, too long. I think we both went home and just abandoned our leg sessions after that, didn't we?
Yeah, I did like 10 minutes and then
Yeah.
I gave up.
But to the point is that I judged you based on the energy you were giving at any one given time without having known you. But the moment I was actually in your energy space, I really liked you.
Yeah, and that's different. That's different because that's probably the second step when you talk about, before you were talking about the inside confidence.
Yes.
Which is different. Like, I feel like, to me, I'm not very confident when I have to meet someone new.
Okay.
But at the moment that I feel comfy in my space, then I'm highly confident, and therefore I can scare people. I would go to that level in a way that confidence, it's almost borderline arrogance. Sometimes it's perceived in that way.
Because you feel so safe with someone, then you sort of let yourself be really authentically you?
Yeah, but then people would translate that of, oh, she's rude, or she's arrogant, she's way too blunt, or whatever, you name it, it's there in the list. So,
I laugh not because I think that of you. I laugh because throughout my 39 years of living, I've been told my whole life I'm too much, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm too this, I'm too that. That goes back to confidence. If you care what people think about you so much, you'll be, honestly, I would be in tears. I'd be in tears every day of the week. I have confidence knowing I'm a good person. I try and go into the world and do the best of my intentions. So that's the inner confidence that we're talking about. When you have that, you anchor yourself back to who you know you are at your core. And that's where the confidence comes from. Makes sense.
No, it does. It does. It's just, I just feel like sometimes it's a bit hard to apply. Like, in a way, before, again, when we were doing the briefing, you were talking about responsibility that we do have
Yes.
for our own self in terms of that. Would you mind just unpack this a little bit?
Yeah. Responsibility. Goodness. It was so easy when we were kids, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But you know what? Because as you said, we were not worried about the judgment of other people. We were doing just whatever we wanted to.
Yeah, but as children, I think in a way we were probably more confident because we didn't have the fear as much as well.
Now we don't.
No, we didn't.
And now I feel like we are more self-aware, obviously, on how people would think, or what people would say, and when it comes again in relationships, it would even make it harder because fear of rejection, the way that the other person is perceived, and there is also that thing like, should I risk it? Should I not risk it? Because if you don't, after you would always linger on that thought, like what would have happened if I would have gone down to that path?
Yeah, I understand. There's two things. So first and foremost, what you're talking about is, it's the coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? It comes down to confidence and fear of rejection. There's a thing that a lot of people have, which is rejection sensitivity disorder, or known as RSD. So RSD is where people are highly sensitive to rejection.
I think I have that.
Yeah, I think I have none of it.
Maybe you should do like a balance. You give me some of you don't have.
No, I had it in spades. When I was younger, and when you learn to accept that you will have rejection in every aspect of life, of course you won't have rejection for everything, but you'll have it in every aspect. It literally just becomes a numbers game. But if you know who, again, we bring it back to, you know who you are at your core, you can handle that rejection very easily. The other thing you asked was around the responsibility about maintaining energy. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're not kids anymore. We're adults. So we have a responsibility, right? We have a responsibility to the people around us, is what I believe. We can't go around, we know we've got bad energy. We're self-aware when we wake up in the morning and we're in a bad mood for whatever reason. You can't then go out into the world, to your workplace or to your family's place, your friends or whatever, your local shops. No one deserves your bad energy. It's our responsibility to be aware of the energy that we're emitting out into the world, and it's our responsibility to shift it as well. I'm really mindful of that. I used to lead teams in the real estate world and whatnot, and I'd get a bad email, I'd have a bad client. I shouldn't say bad client because that's not true. It may be a challenging situation. And I'd get off the phone or I'd get off that email and I think, I could kill someone. But then I've got a responsibility to people around me. I've still got people in my team or in the room with me. So very quickly I had to shift that energy. How would I do that? Is I would be aware of it, and I'd think of the things that can quickly shift me from, let's say, a 0, because at that point I'd be a 0. How do I get back to a 10? In terms of energetic matter, right? 10 being the most highest energy I can get to.
Yeah, of course.
Now, I'm not going to run around, a new romance in the next 5 minutes to get me into that at all. But I would understand what my dopamine receptors are. So it might be going for a quick 5-minute walk. It might be calling a loved one. It might be going for a coffee. That it might be sitting in sunshine for 5 minutes. Anything I would do to shift that energy really quickly.
If you would have to give some other advices to our people that are listening to us, that they want to feel more confident, because I wanted to talk about the dating episode, but I know we have it scheduled for another time, so I wouldn't tap into confidence and energy on how they would translate into modern dating. Let's put it like this.
That's a whole episode.
It's a whole episode.
And 2 probably.
Of 2 hours. But yes, if you have, before we just wrap this episode, any suggestion or any sort of things that we could do to just feel more confident?
Look, it's a great question. It's an open question. I think for me, I would focus less on the aesthetics. So yes, I know that everyone says focus on, looking good in the best clothes and whatnot. That helps, but it's really about your energy. Like we're anchoring your confidence back to your energy. Daily movement, really important. Daily movement itself just adds to your dopamine level. I would be doing that. I would practice rejection sensitivity. You know, I'm notorious for I'd chat to anyone, right? I could chat to the pot plant, as you know.
I think they would listen to you.
Hi. I am notorious for giving compliments to strangers, notorious for it. So I would be walking down the street and I'd see anyone, man, woman, different ages, whatnot. That's a lovely coat. Oh, wow, you've got a great smile. And it's literally, sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't, but they absolutely hear the compliment either which way. So it's a way of training yourself to be able to put yourself in situations where you may be rejected. And sometimes you are.
Yeah, but you're not trying to prove a point. For you, like giving a compliment to someone that has a good coat.
Yeah, but it adds to your confidence. It's the confidence of talking to people. That's what it is.
Sorry, but I feel like I'm missing a point because you are giving a compliment to a stranger.
Yeah.
But whatever this person is gonna say is not gonna affect you personally.
No.
Because they would never offend you because you're giving them a compliment.
But it adds to your confidence. It's all about putting yourself in vulnerable situations. Okay, they're not going to tell you to get lost, right? But it's all about putting yourself into situations that are going to grow your confidence. If you're someone who's not a confident person at all, like we're not talking about me or you right now, we're talking about someone who's really not a confident person and potentially they live their life very introverted, that's a big thing for them to do. It's a huge thing for them to do. It's natural for me, it might be natural for you, but that will translate into, like we said, we're going to talk about dating at another time.
Yes,
but that then translates into someone being at a bar asking a woman or a man, hey, I think you're pretty, or can I buy you a drink? Or,
yes, and
you know, it translates into that.
Yeah, and this would prompt me for another questions about dating, but I would let's
save it for another time.
Yes. So, I want to retouch one last thing before we close. You talked about posture and movements. So, would you say, you said it before, but I just want to re-highlight that again. You said that a person that has slowest movement and better posture would actually raise energy levels, therefore confidence. Why do you think a slower movement would increase energy levels, therefore confidence, or this person would perceive with more confidence if the movements are slow?
It's about people perceiving them. It's a lens of perspective. When someone moves in a very rushed, hurried, for example, they're hunched over, they're on their phone, and we've all seen it, right? You hang around a train station long enough and you're seeing everyone rushing through in a big hurry and whatnot. There's a chaoticness to people. There's not a confidence. They might be competent in what they do, but they're not exuding confidence. You see someone walk through and they're just arched back, postured well, gently moving through already, and you see the way I've just changed my movement.
So you would look at the grace of the movement.
Yes.
And that's what would get the attention of the person around that specific individual.
You see the same as, you know, if you're buying a car, if you go into a car yard and you get greeted by a car salesperson, you know, you've got the guy that comes through and he's adjusting his belt and how you going, and, you know, it's a bit oily and greasy and he's lost his keys, and you're just like, I'm about to buy a $40,000 car and this is what I'm greeted with. Versus the person that says, it's really nice to meet you, this is my name, what's yours? And they're different, they're presented well, they're put together well. It's a subconscious thing for a human. It tells you that they're a confident person, and therefore you equate that with competency.
Yeah, I really like this part of the movements and the fact that it needs to be slow, because I've seen people that they're actually practicing that and they would stand out from the crowd, which is something that is real. Yeah,
it's also, you know, in sales training, so when we do sales training and things, as you know, I'm in property, and I've done them. I've done interviews, if you will, where I'm doing a proposal or a presentation to a client. I could be in a lounge room with someone, and I'm talking like really quick because I'm trying to get through it all, and in the end, it's like I feel like I run a marathon. But it's signifying to the other person, and I'm not, but it's signifying to the person anxiety, potentially unpreparedness, a bit of desperation. It's none of that, but that's what it signifies to the other person. The moment I just slow down and I pause, it's the confidence to pause, sit in the silence, sit in the awkwardness of it all. it tells you that that person's confident enough. It's subconscious.
Because you find confidence would come out from the pause, whereas sometimes we feel that if you pause, it's perceived as lack of knowledge.
Pausing is powerful because the person can sit in it. The person that fills the space because it feels awkward is the person that's not confident. But the person that can sit in the pause is actually the most confident person in the room.
Well, on this note, on the pause,
Are we pausing?
I should pause more.
You're welcome for the segue.
And give space and time to our readers, the listeners. This was great. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I really love that, and I feel like I've got heaps of takeaways to take home and
great.
practicing. Let's say from tomorrow we start in my little safe space.
I'm going to see you walking around with a straight back now.
Yeah, boobs outside.
You'll give me a compliment the next time you see me.
I can give that to you. That's easy. I need to give it to
do.
someone that I don't know. That would be a problem.
That's true.
Okay, guys. So if you have any questions for Sarah, please email at italiani.depodcast@gmail.com. Otherwise, follow us on Instagram. There's going to be heaps of reels and highlights of these episodes. And I think we are going to pause this now. And we are going to wait for next time when I'm so keen because we are going to talk about
confidence in dating.
Yeah, with also another guest.
Yes, we have the most beautiful guest, Stefano, our good friend Stefano from the gym.
From the gym.
From the gym. Our little power buddy.
Okay. So until now?
Yes.
Until then. Sorry, not until now.
I understand.
Thank you again for being here. And I'll see you at the gym, I think, tomorrow.
Are you putting this in your calendar?
No, I'm just saying I will see you tomorrow. And yeah, thank you.